Hello, greetings. This is Gillesmansillon. I'm coming back again today to speak about this law of attraction, this law of one, this eternal principle of connectivity. For I'm here, I'm discussing spiritual ideas. Sometimes they're personal aspects that deal with my own earthly process, and sometimes they're more general spiritual ideas. I'm going to pull a few cards with the tarot of the Casanova tarot. It's a romantic deck. I'm going to put an 18 plus sign, although I don't believe that there is anything offensive to children in those images. For sexuality is far less offensive to me than all the violence and brutality that is constantly bombarded in the media. Although sexuality has to be done with respect of ourselves and respect of others, as we all divine, and we have to integrate that as we all have to. So the situation is satiety. It is about being satiated, about finding the true happiness, the true joy, that to allow the flow of abundance and joy to fill our life. What comes around the situation is swiftness. It is about rapid acceleration. So it is between eclipses. So there is this great acceleration. What we see before us as what will unfold before us is the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is being free from fear. It's about understanding that what made us afraid before no longer does. So it's about coming out of the flame, coming out of with the tiger of fear. We can pull the tiger of fear by the tail. There is no more fear. There may still be things to address, but the old fear have no more power over us. What we have in our subconscious, our distant past, is the Queen of Chalice, the Queen of Cup, and so she's the master of emotion. She's the feminine side of femininity. It's about expressing our emotion. And right now it is the Empress. This is the situation. The Empress is nature. It is Mother Nature. It is the wholeness of life, the beauty of life as a whole. It is about being not lost in any details, to always see the life in the greater sense, to elevate our consciousness. What we're gonna come in the near future is the Knight of Chalice, the Knight of Cup, and here the Knight of Cup is the absolute enjoyment of abundance. It's the freedom from jealousy, the freedom from bondage, the freedom. It's unconditional love. We're going to be able to experience new level of unconditional love. When the situation that gives us our strength, that represents us in the situation, is the card of death. So it is a wonderful card because death is the card of transformation, natural transformation. It means that independently to our will, the things will change. So embrace the change without having to do not fight the change. What comes to us from the outside world is the Chariot. It is this very powerful card of the Chariot. It is a success. It is abundance, prosperity. It is manifestation. It is motion forward. It is a great deal of recognition, of success, public exposure. For it is okay to shine our light, and this is really what is coming. What we see in our inner emotion, our hopes and fear, it is the stars. So the stars here is always the star is the manifestation of our dreams. It is our guardian angels that is bringing or the company of heaven that is bringing this. It's one of the two cards that is the wish fulfill. That fulfill our wishes. So this is really what we have emotionally, and the outcome will be the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is about letting go of all. It's about letting go of regret, guilt, shame, blame, all of that. Give that back to God. Give that back to the surrender everything. Let go and ask your guides and angels to take care of all that. Just you don't have to deal with that anymore. And once you do that, you release all the sense of self-judgment or judgment of others. We find the Knight of Chalice, the Knight of Cup, which is the fulfillment of the fulfillment of our sexual nature, of our romantic nature, of our so we're going to be able to enjoy the best of it. So it is not about it is like flying over a lake. We don't want to dig into the bottom of the lake so that there is all kinds of mud. We just want to sip on the top of the lake and take the best of life. So I hope this resonated with you. I hope it was meaningful. For this is just a reflection that life is offering. So the tarot is just a way to reflect the aspect of our consciousness. And so I wanted to say, so this morning I was waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I felt like it was low tide. I felt all those dead seashells on the beach, and it was like, and then Tali, the goddess Tali, came to see me and reminded me of that, that the tide is gonna go back up. And so sometimes I feel like I'm thirsty and I'm asking the universe. I'm getting a drop of water when I'm asking for the whole bucket of water to quench my thirst. So it's like a drop and a drop and a drop, but eventually the eventually it will flow like a river, like a cascade. It will cascade, and all will be fine. Sometimes we have to be in joy in a comfortable situation, trusting that things will come align and everything will come into place, because there is so much going on. We can jungle with all the ins and outs of things, but sometimes we have to trust that things will fall into place. We have to relax as much as possible and accept that things can come in the most unexpected ways. For we have accepted to incarnate in a physical body, which is an animalistic body in many ways, and so we have to deal with all the animalistic aspect of our physical body. We need for food, the need for drink, the fears, all those things. But eventually, it is being elevated, it is rising, and so. And as we increase our sensibility, we are able to sense and feel more. For it is a double-edged sword. The sensibility has always been a double-edged sword. For we can sense more, but we can also feel more the contrast and diversity of what is going on in the world. Always it's very important to stay focused on to keep dominant the positive outcome, to keep dominant the joy to keep dominant to choose to focus on what our true self really want, rather than what our ego is experiencing. Because we're always reaching for more. Whenever we find satisfaction with something, there is always something that we need to expand into more. So it is a constant process, but eventually the line will become a circle, and we'll completing a cycle. For in a sense, what we can see is that every soul was created perfect and divine. So it is, and then it creates its own plan for its own evolution, and at the end it finds resolution. Whether we find that resolution of that higher path during our lifetime, which is better to fill the gap within our lifetime. But if we do not, as soon as we're dead, we'll fill it up, and so that's really nothing to worry about. The thing is, we want to do what we can to fill up to complete the cycle of what our soul has been working with us with. And so this understanding is this line could be a straight line. Life could be seen as a straight horizontal line. We look back in the past, we see the eternal past. We look towards the future, we see the eternal future, for there is no ending to life. But eventually we can move into we realize that it is circles, and then we go to inner circle, and then we move on to the next level. Once we complete we cross all inner circles of consciousness. Eventually it becomes a spiral. So that means we can also imagine that life could be a straight line that is vertical, that goes all the way down to our past and all the way up to our eternal future. And as we envision that, for freedom, it lies in our ability to let go of physicality and move into the various planes and plateaus of the higher planes. For dimensions are stuck on top of each other; they are also enclosed within ourselves. And I realized that on top of all the dimensions, there is the realm of the infinite, where the fathers live, the great gods of all creation. The God, for all is one and one is all. But and my master guide told me decades ago that when I'm looking for a scientific solution of something, it is much more powerful and efficient to go into the realm of the infinite, because the solution may not be in this physical world. Einstein said that in order to find solution to problem, you have to change your thinking in order to find solutions. Because if you remain in the same train of thought, you will. What my master guide explained is that you can spend 50 years in a laboratory looking for an answer, you will not find it, but in 15 minutes of meditation, projecting your consciousness in the infinite, you can receive the answers. And I've received many answers doing that. Yet my higher self tells me that soon I will be able to fully integrate that divine light, this divine white and yellow light aspect of the realm of infinity, So it is great joy. We do not want to forget this source essence of infinity, and so it is important to continue to cultivate that connection to that source of that infinity that resides at the innermost center of ourselves and on the highest plane of the universe. And even infinity is moving to inconceivable end and conceivable transformation that will continue to evolve as time goes on. For infinity is the realm that changes that is changeless in essence, because it is infinite already. For the Father is the first source and center is supreme, ultimate, absolute, and infinite. And this is since it is our source, it is also who we are. It is also the essence of what we are connected to, and we need to cultivate that relationship to God. So we want the highest wisdom for us today is protection. What we need to understand is communication. What we need to do is reward. And the outcome is renewal. So it's kind of self-explanatory. I just wanted to come and wish you a good day, to come and to pass by. And behind me is a portrait of Tali, and here is a portrait of the super universe of Orvonton, which the Milky Way is at the center of it. Our own local universe, our star cloud, which is millions of star systems, is somewhat on the border of the Milky Way. It's a newer universe, a younger universe, in relationship to the older universe that are closer to the center of the galaxy, local universe. And this painting represents a symbolic painting that represents a trillion inhabited world. So it is very vast. It is the central world is called Uversa. It will be a final destination, because before we embark into the journey of eternity through the central universe and paradise eventually. I'm going to finish with a song, then I'm going to pull one more card with the Akash. It's a song that went through my head. It's a romantic song of the Beatles. It goes like this. Close your eyes and I kiss you. Tomorrow I'll miss you. Remember, I always be true. And then while I'm away, I'll ride home every day, and I'll send all my loving to you. I'll pretend that I'm kissing these lips I am missing, and I hope that my dreams will come true. And then while I'm away, I'll ride home every day, and I'll send all my loving to you. All my loving I will send to you. All my loving, darling, I'll be true. Close your eyes and I kiss you. Tomorrow I'll miss you. Remember, I'll always be true. And then while I'm away, I'll ride home every day, and I'll send all my loving to you. All my loving, all my loving, oh, all my loving, I will send to you. And thank you very much for sticking till the end. I thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting. I'm going to pull one more card to see and today is war and battle. We got to put an end to those war and battles that are happening between our ego and our soul. We have to move into this fulfillment, to move into this state of peace, this state of well-being, to accept, to allow ourselves to let go of the worry, to breathe. There is a good techniques, and just want to there is a mantra that can be repeated. We have to repeat it 108 times, about 20 minutes. It's called Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tsebayot. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tsebayot. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tsebayos. It means glory, glory, glory to the Lord of hosts, the God who has always been, is, and always will be. While we're doing that for 20 minutes, we are able we can still observe thoughts that are passing through, but we keep repeating that, and slowly the thoughts disappear, and we replace it with that. It creates a central focal point, and if we do it for 20 minutes, it's enough to concentrate our thoughts to our soul and spirit. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I wish you a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Thank you. Namaste.